Social media will have you thinking that everyone else is winning except you. People don't show you their struggles online. They show you their highlights. So now you're comparing your real life to someone else's edited version. And that can make your own journey sometimes feel like it's slower, harder, or even sometimes feel like a complete failure. And here's why. Hey guys, welcome back to The Anchor Show. My name is Ange. I'm going to be taking a look at how people can present the finished product, the polished version of themselves online, and how much that can affect others who are going through their own growth process and journey and maybe not quite where they desire to be as of yet, and how that can affect you mentally when you see these other people's highlight reels. Okay, so let's dive right into it. So full disclosure, this is not to call anyone fake or, to put down anyone, but it's to paint a complete picture of showing what it's truly like for someone to go through the journey of becoming, right? You don't just show up on the internet with fancy cars, these beautiful luxury experiences without going through something. It is a journey, it is a process, and oftentimes that part of the journey is not shown. Only the highlighted reels, only the finished products, right? So I'm here to address the journey and to share a little bit of my personal journey, and also to encourage you if you are going through any sort of journey of becoming and it might feel a little bit difficult or it might feel like you're behind. I'm here to address that issue, okay? See, what happens is that most of these so-called gurus or people who presents themselves to be experts or successful, right? They never really share the doubts, the struggles, the pivots, the stressful moments, the wanting and feeling like quitting moments, And in fact, some of them have even quit. And maybe at some point in time, they got back at it, because if you're a true entrepreneur, for example, if something fails or if you quit something, you're probably going to go back at it or start something else because it's just in your nature, right? But I feel like psychologically, people like to see aesthetics. People like to see success. People like to see the finished, polished product, right? Seeing somebody with a Lamborghini and they're wearing all these fancy jewelries and, they live in this rich neighborhood or they are on these exclusive vacations, right? All of those highlight reels are something that these things are aesthetically pleasing to the eyes, right? You see it and it's like, yeah, this is what you want. This is what you desire for yourself. But oftentimes what we're not seeing, what these guys are not showing is the struggles. Anyone who is in the process of becoming, whether you're trying to start a business, whether you're developing yourself personally, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're on a journey, if you're going through the process of becoming anything, you're trying to get a degree, whatever it might be, you are going to experience setbacks, struggles, doubts, failure, or, moments of sadness, moments of depression. You are going to experience these things because it is a part of any journey. Any journey. There's very few people that can tell you that, yes, I have gone through the process of becoming a better person, better version of myself, or got this degree, or I went through this training and it was okay. It was easy. There wasn't any struggles, no challenges, no setbacks. No, it doesn't work like that. Everyone who becomes someone, go through some sort of a journey, you will experience setback. You will experience delays, obstacles, roadblocks, and will be required to pivot or sometimes even scrap your plan altogether and start over. But when you constantly see finished version of people, that can mess with a guy's psyche. It can mess with your mental, especially if you're seeing people that are younger than yourself, or even people within your peer group that are doing better than you, or it appears as though they're doing better than you. That can mess with your mental because you're sitting there thinking, man, I should be further along. I should be just like them. That's what I desire for myself. I should have this already. But the reality is that life does not work that way, right? Meaning, not because you see this guy has a particular thing, or he has a certain accomplishment that you desire and that you are going after, doesn't mean that you're gonna have it the same time as he does. The journey is different. Everyone's journey is gonna be different. Everyone's journey is going to have different set of challenges and obstacles to deal with. And so you just have to be able to understand that first and foremost. And with that understanding, be patient, be humble as you're going through your journey and your process. Like I like to use Usain Bolt as an example, right? And this guy goes to the Olympics and he runs 3 races, right? One race is less than 10 seconds. The other one is like 20 something seconds. And then the 4x100 relays is like, his portion of it is another, 10 seconds or less. And everybody's cheering, everybody's excited, everybody's celebrating, everybody feels happy, everybody feels proud. But what no one gets to see is the struggle, the challenges, the obstacles, the injuries, the fatigue, the wanting to go out and hang out with friends but can't, wanting to go eat some unhealthy type of food, but you have to stick to your diet because for health reasons. Wanting to stay up and watch TV or play video game, but you can't because you need to get up and go train tomorrow morning. No one sees all that hard work. Hours in the gym, lifting weights and just grinding. Nobody sees that. The only people who sees that is him and the folks around him, right? But the world at large that gets to enjoy these sprint events and gets to cheer and celebrate, they don't see the struggles and the setbacks that he has to go through. And that's life in general, when we're working towards something, whether to, doesn't matter what it is, a new position, a degree, losing weight, building muscles, whatever. When we're working towards something, we must understand that is going to require time, it's going to require patience, and we have to understand that it is a journey, it's a process. And if you're, for example, you're going on a long journey. Say you're going on a road trip. It's going to take you 2 days to get to your destination, right? On that journey, you might run into a roadblock. You will run into traffic. You might get a flat tire. You might have some mechanical issues, right? You might have weather issues, right? None of those things mean that you won't get to your destination. They might pause you for a little bit. It might delay you for a little bit. You might have to detour and come back on your path later on. But at the end of the day, as long as you know that your destination is where you're going to end up and you stay on track, on path, that's what matters, right? And I get it. We get frustrated sometimes when things aren't going as fast as we want. And the thing with these highlight reels that you see on the internet, people showing off, all the accomplishment and the success, and you compare yourself to them, what that can do sometimes, it makes you feel as though you're not going fast enough or you're not going at all. And so that overshadows the progress and growth that you've made with yourself, right? Because as long as you're taking a step or two forward each day, you are making progress. You are growing, right? But sometimes we don't see it because it's overshadowed by these highlight reels that we see on the internet, and by us comparing ourselves to that level of success and the distance and the gap between where we're currently at and where we desire to be, and completely overlook the progress that you've made. But one thing to understand is that the process is where progress takes place. The process is what truly matters. You're going to school for a degree. Yes, getting the degree, getting that piece of paper in your hands and walking the stage on graduation day. Yes, that signifies the end of that journey. However, those 4 years or 3 years, 2 years, however long it took you, that's what really matter. Because during that time, you're learning something new. You're developing and improving your skill set. You're experiencing struggles that are making you a better version of yourself, right? If you're going to school as an adult with a family, that's going to be challenging. You are going to experience challenges and struggles and difficulties. And if you get to graduation, it meant that you have grown above and beyond those challenges and struggles. And here you are right now as a testament to the work that you've gone through. So why overlook the struggles? Why overlook the work? Why overlook the process, right? We shouldn't overlook it. We should embrace it and be thankful, because it's molding us and shaping us into a much better version of ourselves, a much more formidable version of ourselves, right? And just keep in mind that your journey is not supposed to be perfect. It's not supposed to be nice and rosy and comfy, right? There has to be struggles. You know, like if you think about things like the military, for example, any branch of the military, right? Just imagine joining the military. You know, they're training you to become a war fighter or some sort of professional, right? Because the military is not just about war. You know, there's multiple different professions within the military. But if you go in and they're training you to become something that is completely brand new to you, and you go in and it's just a piece of cake, walk in the park, no challenge, no struggles, you know, you're not questioning your life, then what would have been the purpose of it, right? Your journey is supposed to have a little bit of difficulties, right? If you think about video games, when you play a video game, each level, each stage gets more difficult than the one before. And that's life, because what that does, you're improving your skill set, you're sharpening up your tools and making you a better, stronger version of your previous self. So embrace the challenge, embrace it. Don't let these highlights reels on the internet fool you. Don't let them diminish you and your growth and your progress. Embrace the challenge. I'll throw myself in there as an example, right? I'm on this YouTube journey, and I didn't just get up and start this because this is something that I think I could do or should do. I did this because I felt convicted that this is my purpose and my calling, right? This is me. This is my way of leaving the world a little bit better than I came and see it, right? This is my way of just giving a little bit back to my community. And if I were to analyze my work and effort and time that I put into this versus the results and the outcome, I would have quit like a long time ago, right? I would have quit, and that's just the honest truth, because the growth is not yet where it needs to be in comparison to the amount of work and time and effort that I put into it. But the beautiful thing with this process is that it is to be expected. Yes, slow growth, mixed growth. And then in a lot of cases, as long as there's consistency, as long as I stay the course and I don't deviate, overnight, next thing you know, one video takes off and then that's it. The growth never stops from that point forward, right? So I too experience these same challenges and struggles, you know, but the difference is I don't get caught up in other people's highlight reels, right? Some people are starting YouTube channel and in a matter of a few months, they are just killing it, right? They're enormous growth and they're doing exceptionally well. I don't know what the secret is behind them and what they're doing, right? But I can't and will not look at their journey and compare to mine, right? Of course, we're humans, and sometimes we feel like, man, you know, how come, you know, they just got started, or, you know, I got started before them and, you know, they're growing. It's many different variables as to why that could be. But my journey is my journey, and your journey is your journey. So don't let another person's highlight reel have you questioning your progress. You know what I mean? You can do a self-analysis to see, am I truly progressing? Am I really taking steps forward? And sometimes, yes, we might need to pivot. Sometimes we might need to tweak things just a little bit. We might need to change things up just a little bit. And it's okay to analyze and see if maybe you need to do that. But don't let someone else's progress or highlight reels, I should say, have you questioning your growth, your progress, and where you're headed. And worse, have you changing your course completely, right? You can make improvements and adjustments, but you should not be questioning yourself to the point of quitting because of other people's highlight reels. If you're convinced about what you're doing and you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're doing, then stay the course of time. You will eventually see those results. You will get to your destination as long as you stay on track. It doesn't matter if you have to take a little bit of a detour. It doesn't matter if you have to stop for a second, pause for a second. As long as you stay the course, you will get to your destination. So if you're someone who have been seeing a lot of people's highlight reels and you feel as though your life is not really going as it should, or you're not really on track, or you feel like you're failing or anything of that nature, this is a sign for you to continue to do what you're doing, to stay the course and don't get derailed. All right. And if you've been watching along all this time, thank you so much for sticking around. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you're not yet a subscriber and you do enjoy this type of content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me know where you're at in your journey and how it's going so far. Are you being challenged by these highlight reels, or is it motivating and inspiring you? Let me know. I would really love to hear that. So until the next video, guys, let us continue to grow, evolve, and transform into the best version of ourselves. Peace.